is Focus with Jack Caudill.
Good evening, I'm Jack Caudill. Welcome to this month's edition of Focus. This month we're talking about the addition of sports betting in Deadwood. Three guests with us to talk about that. Mike Rodman, he is the Executive Director of the Deadwood Gaming Association. Josh Thurmes, he is the Assistant General Manager of the Lizzie Gaming Resort in Deadwood. And Brad Matichak, he is the Sportsbook Manager at the Deadwood Mountain Grand. Now, South Dakota voters approved sports betting in Deadwood when they went to the polls back in November by a 58 to 42% margin. And since then, the legislature and the State Gaming Commission have been hashing out the final rules, and it looks like the target date to get the sports books open is now looking at September 9th. We're going to start with you, Mike Rodman. This is something that has been talked about for a long, long time. What was the process? How did this all get started? What was the impetus to get this started, and how did we get to where we are now?
Well, it really started in May of 2018 when the Supreme Court overturned the ban on sports wagering. We started right away. And so we made our first attempt during the 2019 legislature to get it put on the ballot. We were unsuccessful, but we were short 3 votes in the House that year. So we came back again in 2020. We were able to get it on the ballot then for November of 2020. And of course, you just mentioned how well that turned out. And then the enabling legislation was Senate Bill 44. Which passed this legislative session. And since then, we've had 2 rounds of commission rules that have been approved. And on September 8th, the commission will approve the final sports wagering catalog and licensing of the sports wagering service providers, and we'll be ready to go then.
How much of a challenge was it? How much work was it involved with a lot of people to finally get this thing through since 2018?
It's been pretty much nonstop. It's been my entire focus at the Deadwood Gaming Association, trying to get this move forward. So it's taken a lot of work. It's been a big learning curve, and we've watched other jurisdictions across the country do this, and so we think that we're going to have an exciting new product for Deadwood.
Josh, looking at this from the Tin Lizzie perspective, how excited are you guys to be able to add this to what you're doing right now?
Absolutely, super excited. This has been a long time coming, like Mike said. A lot of work from the operators to the Gaming Commission, everybody involved to get this thing in place. We're super excited for September the 9th. Can't come here quick enough. It's just it's another opportunity for Deadwood to really, it's another amenity that we can offer to really make ourselves a destination for gambling.
How much have you heard from people along the way about them being excited and them wanting to get this going and have a place to go?
We have people coming in all the time asking when we're going to go live, what kind of bets we can make. There's a lot of buzz in Deadwood. It reminds me back to when we launched Craps and Roulette. There was just a lot of buzz in the air. And from an operator standpoint, it really contributed to a revenue increase, not just we're looking at it not just at the sportsbook level, but more around the entire gaming facility, just getting more bodies into the casino, providing that additional amenity that they can use.
Brad Matichak up there at the Deadwood Mountain Grand. How about you guys? How much work has gone into getting you to the point you're at right now?
Well, it's been definitely been a lot of work involved. Deadwood Mountain Grand, they took their current sports bar area and they reconstructed it into a full-on sports book. They have a video wall where you can view up to 19 games at the same time. They expanded also to provide additional seating. So, and they brought me in. I only arrived a couple months ago. I worked back in Delaware at a sports book back there. So since coming in, of course, I've gotten to be able to start getting all the rules approved and getting everything off the ground. And it's been definitely very exciting to come to this new community, to see what's already been established here, and being familiar with the sports betting world, very excited to be able to help bring that to the Deadwood community.
Now, you've worked in sports books before, but this is the first time you said that you have been involved in getting one up from scratch. What's involved in that? How big of a challenge is that to get off the ground?
It's definitely a lot of stuff to learn. You have to delve into all the legislature that goes into it, like Mike was saying. pretty much going back from the start. How does this all get approved? What kind of rules and regulations do we have to follow, and learning how to write out those rules to then be approved by the commission.
Now, you obviously can't just open the door and start taking bets. Physically, what kind of stuff has to take place in a casino before you can get that book up and running?
Well, obviously, like in our case, we did the reconstruction for the new sports book at Dale's, and we have to partner with sports wagering providers. We went with IGT Play Sports, so they have the equipment on their end, betting stations for ticket writers to work at, self-serve kiosks. They have the software to create a mobile app, so all that has to be brought into property, and all that also has to be approved by the commission, run final tests to make sure everything works properly, and all that has to be installed, and definitely a lot of work that goes into getting sports wagering started.
Josh, over at Tin Lizzie, what all has gone into from the time this thing has been approved in November till now to get your place ready to go?
Lots. So Live Hospitality, the parent company of Tin Lizzie Game Resort and Cadillac Jacks, has partnered with BetMGM. We're super excited about that partnership, just a premier name around the country, really, to get a name like that in Deadwood. So it started there with that partnership. We got a space on our property that we really feel like will be the premier sports book in town. Many screens, a lot of things to come. Super excited about it. Just come check it out.
What does that mean when you say you're partnered with MGM?
So
what does that mean as far as the bettor goes and as far as how your operation runs?
So they do a lot of the line writing. We take the action based on their lines that they come up with out of Vegas. So just a big player in the sports betting world, somebody that you can trust, know that the lines are good. That's kind of how the partnership works. So.
And Mike, you said you guys are hoping to get going September 9th, 10 a.m. How is this going to start? You said it's not going to start full bore, but you're going to kind of maybe ease into it a little bit?
That's correct. South Dakota's kind of a conservative state, and so we're going to be a little bit conservative in our offering to begin with. We're going to kind of try to, crawl before we run. And so the sports wagering catalog is going to be a bit limited to begin with, but it's going to have a robust enough offering that I think there'll be something for everybody to begin with. And once we can show folks what we're able to do and that we can properly manage sports wagering, then we'll expand from there.
Now, you represent the Gaming Association. For them as a whole, what kind of difference does having sports betting do? Does that bring in a different group of people? Does that keep the people that are there longer? How does all that work?
Well, it's going to do all of the above. Of course, it continues to enhance Deadwood as a gaming destination. We certainly believe that it brings a different type of clientele, and that will be good for Deadwood. It will bring a clientele that we will be marketing to in times of the year that are typically slower for us, March Madness, Super Bowl times, and the American Gaming Association did a survey, Oxford Economic Survey, that says sports wagering will bring $6.1 million a year to Deadwood, but the impacts overall for gaming will be $22.1 million a year. So we're really excited about what that could mean for Deadwood.
Now, you're seeing more sports gambling all across the country now. How important was it that Deadwood got into that and didn't get left behind when it was other places?
Absolutely. Deadwood has to be able to compete on a national level to continue to be a gaming destination, and sports wagering is a part of that. And so it's very important that we have those offerings that our customers are asking for, and sports wagering is now one of those offerings that they want.
All right, we got to take a quick break. We'll continue our look at sports betting in Deadwood when we come back with this month's edition of Focus. I'm Jack Caudill. Welcome back to this month's edition of Focus, talking about sports betting in Deadwood, set to get started on September 9th, right here in South Dakota. Josh Thurmes is the Assistant General Manager of the Tin Lizzie Gaming Resort. Look at the numbers for Deadwood this summer. Each month they have been up and up and up. What's this going to add, do you think, to the bottom line of the city up there?
That's a great point. We've had a great summer. It's important to build on that momentum. We really, in a very competitive market, in the gambling market, the casino market around the country, it's important that Deadwood offers all the amenities that the other jurisdictions are offering. With this, it just really can add another level to all the gaming, bringing in new customers that maybe weren't frequent Deadwood before because we didn't offer that amenity. So we're not only expecting to see increases on the sportsbook side, but also a casino as a whole, hotel stays, table games pit, slot machine play, food and beverage, everything as a whole, by bringing more guests in.
Who do you market a sportsbook to?
It's kind of unknown right now in Deadwood. Typically a male customer, probably a younger customer. I guess I don't know for sure the answer to that, but we want to market to everybody. We want Deadwood to be a destination that everybody has a reason to come to. That might be sports betting, that might be slot machines, whatever it is. We want to expand on that catalog as we go and really find bets that everybody would like to play.
Brad Matichak is the sportsbook manager at the Deadwood Mountain Grand. You've worked in sportsbooks before. What is it that makes a successful sportsbook? What is it that makes it profitable, makes it go well?
Definitely just creating the right environment for your typical sports bettor. Usually, anywhere from 21 up to middle-aged males definitely are your typical sports bettors. So creating what I think makes a great sportsbook is not only just offering the bets, but then creating an atmosphere for the customer to then enjoy their bets, because they're going to want to come in, place their bets on an upcoming football game, and then spend the next 3 hours relaxing, watching that game, having some beer, wings. So we at Deadwood Mountain Grand are excited to be able to offer the new Dale Sportsbook, where customers can come in. We have lounge chairs for them to sit in, couches, so they can enjoy all the games that they want to bet on our large TV wall. And I believe that's what really drives the sportsbook home into becoming a success.
Now, sportsbooks around here are new. How do you kind of slowly bring South Dakota people into what you're doing?
Well, the sportsbooks itself are new, but I don't believe the idea of sports betting is anything new to most South Dakota people. I'm sure many people make frequent trips to Vegas. I know from back east, we have a lot of customers, they like making those annual trips out to Vegas. So I believe there's a large customer base waiting for us out there already that don't usually come to casinos like Josh was referencing because their interest is sports betting. So now being able to add that in, we'll be able to attract all those customers who are in this corner of the country would probably be going to Vegas most often. They're now talking about, well, let's go to Deadwood instead because now it's right here. And we can, save on some of the travel funds and then hopefully use more of that money towards betting.
Mike Rodman is the executive director of the Deadwood Gaming Association. Mike, people have been betting on sports events, whether it's legal or not legal. What's the advantage, you think, from your guys' perspective of doing it in the sports book instead of the guy down the street?
Well, we certainly think that there's going to be that transition from those illegal wagers to legal sports wagering. Studies have shown that when people have the option for legal sports wagering, they choose legal sports wagering. They want to have that regulated wagering opportunity, and so we certainly think that's what they're going to choose to do. So we're looking forward to being able to offer that in Deadwood.
Now, I'm sure you guys have studied the way this went in other states when they added it. It wasn't too long ago. Iowa started sports betting. What did you guys learn from what happened there, and how well did it go in those places?
The Iowa, Colorado have exceeded expectations. It's been a phenomenal success in both of those states. And so we've looked at those models and tried to follow some of those things that they've done in our planning for Deadwood.
What is going to be unique? Is there something unique? You said you've looked at what they've done in Iowa, look at what they've done in Colorado. What are you doing differently here? Or are you doing anything differently here?
You know, we are somewhat limited because in Deadwood we are going to be in person. There will be no statewide mobile wagering, so we're going to be different in the fact that people are going to have to physically come to Deadwood and place those wagers inside our properties. We think that's good for Deadwood as a destination, but that will be a difference from what we're seeing in those jurisdictions around us.
Josh, who do you guys market to? Are you marketing to the guy that wants to come in and put $5 down on the Bronco game for Sunday, or the guy that wants to put $1,000 on the Bronco game?
Frankly, we're marketing to both those people. We want everybody to come out and try our product. We're super excited about it. A lot of exciting things happening at Lizzie Gaming Resort. Just want people to come see it. And not just in Lizzie. This is an exciting time for all of Deadwood. It's taken a lot of hard work from all the operators, the gaming commission, putting all the rules in place. It's finally all coming together where we can offer everything in line with our competition.
And Mike said right now, no horse betting at this point in Deadwood?
No horse betting. We are going to start slower, but it's a good thing to provide the best product for our customers right away. All the major sports that you can think of will be in play. You can take bets as of September 9th on those major sports. As time goes on, we'll continue to evaluate that and expand on those offerings. But like I said, just really puts us in a good spot. The Gaming Commission putting us in a good spot to provide a good product to our guests.
And Brad, do you feel like you guys are in a good position right about a week or so away from finally turning the switch on?
Yeah, definitely. There is definitely a lot that goes into getting it off the ground. And we're definitely doing all we can to get it out there as quickly, but also as accurately as possible. So we want to make sure we get off the ground without any hiccups or anything. So while September 9th is definitely the goal, but even if not, then we hope to get right after that. And once again, just making sure that everything is offered properly and that we're able to give the customer exactly what they want from day one.
All right, we got to take another break. We'll continue our look at sports betting in Deadwood when we continue with this month's edition of Focus. I'm Jack Caudill. Welcome back to this month's edition of Focus, talking about sports betting in Deadwood, set to start very soon, just a little bit later this month. Brad Matichak is the sportsbook manager at the Deadwood Mountain Grand. You are a sportsbook veteran. For somebody that has not been in a sportsbook before, what are they going to come upon? What kind of bets are out there for people to make?
So there's a wide variety of ways that people can bet on sports. You can simply pick a team to win, which is using something called a money line. There are point spreads where teams have to cover a certain amount of points. So say the Broncos game, they have a -3.5 point spread. To bet on that point spread means you believe they're going to win the game by more than 3.5 points. There's also over-under totals where you can bet on the total points scored in the game. You'll be given a number and you bet on whether you believe that'll go over or under that amount. And then there's you can bet things individually. You can parlay them together, which is combining multiple bets onto a ticket. Increases the payout odds, but then obviously gets a little more difficult the more things you choose to parlay.
How about people that might be intimidated by this? Do you need a lot of knowledge to do this, or do you have somebody, if somebody's intimidated by it, you help them out when they get up there? How is all that going to work for the first time?
Sure. So it's not too much intimidating, I feel. As long as you understand sports to a point, it's very easy to get into betting on sports. But we will be providing literature for customers, for new sports betting fans. Our sports provider, IGT Play Sports, will have a team on property when we get off and running to help train not only staff but to answer customer questions and we'll have things to be able to offer the customer to explain, okay, this is what we mean when we have a money line. Or for the more novice bettors, we can just simply start a conversation, who's your favorite team? Would you like to bet on, them winning this week? Or will you bet against them if someone's favorite team, if they just know, oh, no, I really don't want to bet on them. But, you can take the other side then. So it's definitely something that from the outside can look intimidating, but it's something that's very easy, I believe, to get into and then become a quick fan of.
Josh Thurmes is the Assistant General Manager of the Lizzie Gaming Resort. What are you guys doing to try to kind of ease people in that have maybe never been in a sports book before and would like to come up and lay a little money down?
Well, at Lizzie, we want it to be a very comfortable environment for a guest. There's multiple ways to bet, multiple things to bet on, so it can be overwhelming and intimidating. Just the easiest way would be start with walking up to one of the ticket windows, talk to a sportsbook ticket writer. They'll help you with the terminology if you're not familiar with it. There will be literature, and if you understand a little bit greater, you can walk right up to a kiosk in many locations in the casino and place a bet. Very simple touchscreen kiosk. Just place your bet and go.
Now, Mike, you've been through this with the addition of craps and the addition of roulette. How do you get people into that, and there's always that buzz at the beginning, how do you keep that going over a period of time?
Well, Deadwood's an enchanting place, and people enjoy Deadwood, and so whenever we have another offering, people tend to flock to try it out, and a certain amount of people will continue to participate in sports wagering, and I think we're going to be surprised on the success of sports wagering as it moves forward. I see it all across the country, and I think sports wagering's here for the long haul, and it's going to be certainly an important part of Deadwood in the future.
How much are you looking forward to when you get to the first Super Bowl and the first March Madness rolling through, when that frenzy really starts to build up?
I think it's going to be incredible for Deadwood. To have those marketing opportunities and see what it does, I think those types of things might rival some of our current biggest events, like Cool Deadwood Nights. So it's going to be exciting to see what comes from those events.
Josh, what kind of hopes do you have for the Super Bowl, for March Madness, for the World Series, when you get to that really big stuff that people are interested in betting on?
Just like Mike said, it was just super big event weekends for Deadwood. Deadwood does a great job already during the summertime of creating these events that drive business to the region. Now, all year round, we can have, like you said, the Super Bowl, the World Series, the March Madness. Those things typically happen in our off season. So to create big events around those just takes us to another level in Deadwood.
All right, you got about 30 seconds to go. Brad, what are you thinking about when you get to the first March Madness, the first Super Bowl?
Oh, I'm just incredibly excited just to see what happens for our property. I mean, Super Bowl can be turned into an entire weekend event. March Madness, of course, spans the entire month. And I mean, just all the possibilities like we can think of, offering customers different packages where they can come watch a series of games, have their own little VIP section. I mean, I feel the sky's the limit when it comes to what sports wagering will be able to offer Deadwood and all of its properties.
We are out of time. Brad Matichak, Josh Thurmes, Mike Rodman, thank you guys for coming up, and good luck here. Going to be a big day on September 9th, 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
First bets up in Deadwood. That'll do it for us. Thanks for watching this month's edition of Focus. See you again the first Sunday night of next month. Good night.